Hello and welcome to WMCT Sports Weekly. I'm Tom Brown. I know it's tough to believe, but we are already done with the first month of fall sports. We'll start where we always do with the last 2-minute drill of September. In the first, early on, coming off the corner, Colin Hennessy gets the Panthers on the board with a backhanded shot that goes over the goalie's left-hand pad. Shortly after, Neshoba has a chance, but the Panther defense turns them away. Again, Hennessy doing work on offense with some fancy stick work, and he nets his second goal of the game. Impressive defense by Marlborough as Neshoba has a breakaway, but Alyssa Monty knocks the ball out of the air to block the shot. This results in a free hit for the Chieftains, which eventually goes off a foot, leading to a corner for Neshoba. Off the corner, when Neshoba gets it in close, Marlborough is called for a dangerous hit, leading to yet another corner. This time, the Chieftains can't get anything going, and Marlborough, with their backs against the wall, doesn't allow any goals. Hennessy has a chance here for the hat trick, but at the last second, the Neshoba D steps up and knocks the ball away. It doesn't matter, as his 2 goals were all Marlborough needed as they go on to win this one 2-0, improving their record to 6-0 and 3-0 in league play. Westboro with a chance off the free kick, and this is perfectly executed. An unbelievable kick that finds Skylar Berry for the header, and the Rangers go up 1-0. Marlborough had tons of chances in this one as Holly McCabe winds her way through the defense, but slips and can't get the shot off. The shot that is taken sails over the net. Later, trying to recreate the magic Westboro had on the free kick, the Panthers have a chance, but Anna Barreto can't get her head on it, and it is saved by the Westboro keeper. Right before half, and I'm talking the 39th minute, Carrie Morris crosses it from the corner, and somehow Caitlin Silva gets her foot on it and angles it into the net to tie it up. At the beginning of the second, it's Morris again, this time all by herself, but Westboro catches up. She can't do anything, and another opportunity goes by the wayside for Marlborough. We skip ahead to the 73rd minute. Lucy Capadonna shrugs a defender, leads Holly McCabe. McCabe settles the ball, beats her defender, and bends it around the keeper, putting Marlborough up late. Westboro won't go away as they keep attacking the net and putting pressure on Nicole Galiak, but she twice is up to the task, stopping 2 shots. Marlborough scored in the last minute before half, and Westboro is trying to do the same here in the 79th minute. Another great free kick, and after the defense thwarts a couple attempts, Skylar Berry, who scored the first goal, flips it over the head of Galiak to tie the game. That's how this one would end, and for some reason it felt worse than a tie, but in the end that's all it was. The Panthers remain undefeated at 4-0-2. Assabet has a chance early in this one off a corner, and they're able to convert as Emily Davis knocks it in for the first goal of the contest. Monty Tech with a penalty shot, but Caroline Moria is up to the task and makes a great lunging block. Moments later, if you look through the crowd of Aztecs, Casey Skinner notches a goal, tying the game at 1. Assabet isn't phased as they come right back, and Aisha Langley beats the goalie to put the Aztecs back on top. Our cameraman found some higher ground just as the Bulldogs end up with another penalty shot. And this time Maria can't make the stop as Mallory LeBlanc brings Monty Tech back to even. Here it looks like Monty Tech takes the lead in the second half, but the shot is ruled a dangerous hit and the goal is called off. That doesn't stop the Bulldogs, who come right back, and Kayla Johnson nets a goal, making the score 3-2. That's how it would end as the Aztecs fall to 2-3-1 on the season. Both Marlborough and Assabet have football games this weekend, with Marlborough heading to Shrewsbury in a matchup of the 2 schools Coach Sean Mahoney has been head coach for, while Assabet finally has a home game as they square off against Colonial Athletic League rival Monty Tech. When we get back, Dan, Zoe, and I will be in the Talkin' Sports 2.0 locker room to discuss a pretty big homestand for the Red Sox and everybody's favorite DH.
Hi, my name is Stu Karaska of the Boston Bruins. Hockey Fights Cancer is teaming up with the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network, and you can help. Learn how by going to thepancan.org and join the fight against pancreatic cancer today.
Hey, and welcome back to the Talkin' Sports Locker Room. We are here, and we got a big topic to discuss, and that is this weekend is the last regular season homestand. Key to say regular season because the Red Sox will be in the playoffs for David Ortiz after 14 seasons with the team. So, I mean, he's been the only one in my life that's pretty much had a Hall of Fame career and stayed with the Red Sox. Other players, Pedro and Manny, they left, and in other sports, Paul Pierce left, Ray Bork left. But so this is huge for me, and I guess, Dan, I'm going to ask you to compare it because you kind of can.
Because I'm old.
Well, yeah.
Because of the years? Or?
But with something like Yaz, a Hall of Famer that spent his whole career, and you saw probably most of his career.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm not one of those who believes that Yaz is a true Hall of Famer. I think his 25,000-year career is what led up to all of his statistics being as high as they are. But to me, David Ortiz is, I think, what everybody expected Mo Vaughn to be long-term for this team. That big, huge slugger who was going to take the Red Sox to the promised land. And unlike Mo Vaughn, David Ortiz has actually done that 3 times now, maybe a 4th time.
And Zoe, speaking of Mo Vaughn, someone that went out to California, so this is new to you. I think you've been to Fenway twice now.
3. I think I've made it 3 times now.
Which is great for one season.
It is.
But I want to know, so you came from
San
Francisco, and actually just around almost 10 years, 9 years ago, they had a pretty polarizing left-handed power hitter that retired. So
are you talking about Double B?
I am.
Yeah, it's a good one.
What was that like there? Because it's, as you've seen, a huge deal here with the Ortiz thing. Like, everyone's giving him gifts. Not quite the same love for Barry Bonds back then, but what was it like?
Because he was on drugs.
Well, we didn't know that at the time.
Oh, we knew. No one's head grows.
We didn't know at the time.
No one grows an inch when you're in your mid-30s. No, but what was it like in San Francisco? Because they still loved him.
Yeah, it was pretty fantastic. At that point, it was, he came over from the Pirates, I think, in '93, I think. So he was with the team up until 2007. That's, good, what is that? I don't do the math. 14 years. And it was, like you said, polarizing. It was, I was actually at his last game at AT&T Park, which is arguably one of the best stadiums in MLB. I'm just saying.
All right, California, get to the point.
All right. But Fenway is actually pretty historically fantastic. But it was insane. Like, the love was there, and there was the following. Like, he had been with the team, like Ortiz, for a good amount of time. He wasn't the one that left. He was somebody that stayed with it, and through the good seasons and the bad, and he, left actually, unfortunately, before they really took off. But I like to say he was a leading factor into really building a team. It's somebody to follow. And since then, they have done except for they're struggling a little bit this season with the Dodgers. But it was great, and I felt that here too with Ortiz.
Yeah, it is interesting. They got him off the team and then started really cleaning up, winning the World Series every even year.
I don't know if you should say you're welcome or son of a, what.
But I will say that it's going to be very electric, especially since the Red Sox have already clinched postseason berth and they won the division. So this whole, David Ortiz's last regular season homestand is going to be great. And if you're a famous person like Tom Brown, you get to go to the actual last game on Sunday.
Yes, I am so excited. I went to when they retired Pedro's number, when they retired Carlton Fisk's, and now I have this. So I'm pumped. I can't wait. I just hopefully.
What are you expecting?
Yeah.
I just want to see Pedro. I want to see Manny. I want people to come back. Obviously, I think Wakefield and Veritek, because they're still with the team.
Yeah.
Pedro definitely will. I think Kevin Millar will come back because he's still been around at the team. I think he's funny. But yeah, that's what I'm hoping. And I just hope the rain holds off. And I don't know. That's about it. I just want to see all those people come back.
Yeah. It's going to be pretty fantastic.
So, like, in one word or a few words, what's your feeling on David Ortiz as a Boston Red Sox player, as a Major League Baseball player, what he's...
One word?
One word or a couple. I'll give you a couple.
Like I said before, he's the only one, and hopefully Tom Brady's the same way. He stays with one team his whole career. And it's the only one I've seen in my life, really, that's been that great. So he's just legendary, and I love him.
Yeah.
That's good. That's pretty good.
All right, California, what do you think?
I would say he's pretty inspiring because, as a, I think like rightfully so, born and raised in California, not having someone like him, not rooting for him, and coming to the East Coast and seeing how much of a love that, everyone has for him, I think it's been pretty inspiring to watch, and he has a fantastic player to watch. I mean, it's silly, but I'd say inspiring. It's pretty, wrap it up.
My word is badass. I mean, seriously, how many times did it look like he had one foot in the proverbial grave as far as his career, and he just came back?
30 and 100 every year. Every single year.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right, and that will do it for Talking Sports 2.0. And when we get back, Matt Basaccio will have Coach's Corner.
2010, after 2 years of constant bullying, 11-year-old Ty Smalley took his own life. In the past 7 years, more than 55,000 children have taken their own lives due to bullying. That's 22 youth suicides every day. Stand for the Silent is a grassroots organization that educates people about the harsh reality of bullying and the devastation it causes, and they need your help. Visit standforthesilent.org to learn how you can get involved and help us to save lives.
I stand for the silent.
I stand for the silent.
I stand for the
I
silent.
stand for the
I
silent.
stand for the silent.
I stand for the silent.
I stand for the
I
silent.
stand for the
I stand
silent.
for the
I
silent.
stand for the silent.
I stand for the silent.
I'm Roddy Piper, and we stand for the silent.
Welcome back. This week, Matt Basaccio caught up with Assabet Valley's head football coach to talk about their fast start to this season.
Thanks, Tom. We're here with Assabet Valley football coach Ken Sikanis. Coach, thanks very much for hanging out with us for a few minutes. Now, for those out there in our viewing audience that aren't very familiar with you, tell us a little bit about your playing past and your coaching past that led you up to here.
I graduated from actually Assabet Valley back in 1986. I was lucky enough to play on 3 Super Bowl teams when I played football here. Played under a great coach, Jerry Passner, who was a legendary coach, the very first coach at Assabet, and then continued to coach on 30 plus years. Then I became an instructor here, and I got onto his staff, so I was able to coach under the same coach that I played. So that was a great experience, great part of it. And then Rob McCann got the next head coaching job, and I worked under Rob for a 12-year period. And then that led up to me. Rob joined the administration part of the school, which he gave up coaching football, opened the door up, and I got the head coaching job at that job, and now I'm in my 4th season being the head coach here at Assabet.
That's great. Do you feel as though that you took some of your coaching styles from your predecessors?
Oh yes, I mean both very smart, very hardworking head coaches. If anything they showed me was just to have a strong work ethic, be a leader out there as far as what you're going to do on the field, be the first one here at the fields for practice, games, so on. Just give it the ethic, the work ethic to make sure that the kids know that you're going to be a leader for them.
Now, being at a vocational high school, do you see that there are sometimes challenges that you may not see being in a public school?
Yes, there is. We have incredibly great kids that work extremely hard. A lot of our kids don't come with a big sports background, so sometimes it is tougher that we have to go over a lot more fundamentals. But, with that being said, they don't have bad habits. They just have no habits at all, a lot of the kids. So by the time we get them, they're a plain slate, and we can just work with them.
Now, last season, your team finished, 3-8, losing 5 of your last games.
Yes.
But this season, you've started off 3-0. What can you attribute to that success?
Well, we had a small senior leadership group last year. We only had really basically 4 seniors that played. And so our juniors were really pressed into service. These were kids that didn't have any really playing experience. It was trial and error with a lot of these kids. But with that being said, now this year they know what to expect. They came in, they worked hard in the off season because they knew they were the guys that were going to be counted on. If we wanted to have a successful season, it had to be on their shoulders.
two of the seniors that you have on your team, Gabe Souza and Jesus Pizarro, they've rushed for over 500 yards each this season. Gabe in particular had a game last week, I believe, where he rushed for almost 250 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Coming into this season, did you know that you were going to be leaning on those two heavily?
Well, yes. I mean, Gabe was our workhorse last year. Gabe was second in Central Mass in rushing last year, second in Central Mass in scoring. He was behind an incredible player at West Boylston, Cole McCubry. So second to that that's pretty high. Cole's going for a full boat scholarship to UMass. So that's what he was second to. And he knew coming in that he was going to be the one that we had to depend on. Jesus, a little bit of a surprise. We did change our offense up a little bit. We went back to more of a traditional wing T offense where it's more just a ground attack type offense. So we needed multiple backs to carry the load. Jesus is a smaller player, but you can't measure his heart. The heart that he has, he's an incredibly hardworking kid that just, fights for everything he gets. Gabe's the big running back that is fast, strong. We've actually brought his carries down. He's actually carrying the ball less. He's getting more yards with it. So it's actually panned out really well, and hopefully we can keep it going. We're only going into four games, but we're trying to keep the workload down so they last the whole season.
Switching gears to the defensive side, over the past 3 games, you've let up just under 21 points per game, but in each of those games, you've given up more and more. 6, I believe it was 22, and then 34. What do you do to correct that?
This week, we just have another focus. We just have to, we can't change what happened in the past. What we have to do is just help out and take care of things in the future, okay? We changed our defense up to this year. We went back to our traditional 5 front. Hopefully it's going to work for us. We're just getting the kids used to it. They have to be more comfortable in it, and they have to play with more confidence, and I think they will. On the other hand, we've been scoring a lot of points, so it hasn't seemed as bad, but it's going to come down that we really have to button up our defense and be stronger on the defensive side of the ball.
Coming into the second half of the season, do you think about the end of last year? And if so, what do you do to make sure that your team doesn't slip like they did at the end of last year?
Well, I tell our kids all the time, once again, you can't go back, and I hate to remind them of last year because it's a totally different team. But with that being said, they did learn a lot from the end of last year when they actually, some of the games they just didn't show up to participate in. And that's the reminder that we give them. They have to show up for every single game. I keep telling them, till I'm blue in the face, that the only one I feel that can beat them this year is themselves. And that's the only one that's going to do them in. So if they know that, they have to play strong enough and confident enough to make sure that they can win every game.
Well, thank you very much for your time. It's been a real pleasure. That's going to do it. Thanks, Tom.
Great stuff, Matt. That will do it for this week. But as I mentioned at the top of the show, 1 month is down, and we're going to leave you with the top highlights from September. Enjoy.